Alright, good morning everybody. We've got the patch notes for Shrouded Sky, which is the new Arc Raider season. And it says, attention raiders, violent hurricanes are sweeping topside, forcing new strategies for low visibility contact or combat, powerful gales, and hurtling debris. Scouts have spotted 2 new archetypes in the Rust Belt. We advise caution while the storm runs its course, but those who know how to read the weather will find opportunities in the chaos. So this is our new map condition. We got 2 new arc enemies. There is a new seasonal player project, which is a weather monitoring system, which we'll show later on here in the video. We have a new free raider deck. We have a map update to Dam Battlegrounds. The expedition window, if you're going to do the expedition, they'll give you information on that. And then we have facial hair customization. I think there's 3 beard types, so you get like 5 o'clock shadow, but again, I'll show that here later in the video. So here's the update. Patch highlights: there's been weapon balancing, and it's quite significant. They have added a piano to the interjectable objects in the world. This appears to be a new skin. I haven't seen this before, so maybe we'll take a look at that near the end of the video. We'll go into the game and look at some of the changes. Prevented enabling the NVIDIA freestyle filters, which PvP players, some PvP players, not all of them obviously, were using to get an unfair visual advantage. It really lightened up dark areas. Feats can now be rolled 3 times per day for free. That way you can do feats that are more to your style and liking, so you can get your tokens for buying cosmetics and stuff. They removed the PvP feats, so they are not encouraging people to shoot each other just for credit. Updated a few existing feats and added a few new ones. Ziplines can no longer be placed on carryable objects, so therefore you can't fly anymore, which was actually a lot of fun to watch if you've seen some of those videos. And also, I think they changed ziplines so you can't attach them to arc like apparently some people were doing. I haven't seen video of it, but some people were figuring out ways to attach ziplines to the matriarch and send her into space, which was pretty wild. Mines, traps, and remote flares can no longer be placed on other deployables, so a lot of the, I mean, they were exploits because obviously they're not an intended part of the game. But we have balance changes, and there's quite a few of these. So, and I won't read through this whole thing. There was sort of a shadow buff to the Venator, made it faster to, you could spam click the button and you would get a faster rate of fire out of the Venator, and a couple of other weapons. So here's the changes. The Stitcher has played its role well as close quarters weapon, but we found that its fast TTK can sometimes lead to situations where you're ambushed or killed before you have much time to react. So again, to cut this short, the TTK has been lowered, mostly by changing the reducing the headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 1.75, which is pretty significant. Reduced base damage from 7 to 6.5, and increased per shot dispersion by around 50%, which is pretty significant. For those of you who've watched my World of Warships Legends streams, you know that I've complained, I guess, or commented that the ballistics in this game make no sense whatsoever. The lower level weapons are better than the higher level weapons, so I think they're making changes, at least from what I've seen in the patch notes here, to fix that. The kettle has been a bit of a weird place. Its high damage output was intended to be used at more medium range setting at a more deliberate pace, but we see many of you bring it close quarters and effectively turn into SMG. So they have changed that. They've reduced the base damage from 10 to 8.5. Since the last nerfs to the Venator, we've kept an eye on the data to see how it performs, which obviously they are watching. During this time, many of you have raised concerns that it's still dominating PvP, which, I mean, it kind of should. It's a fast-firing, close-range weapon, but be that as may. Our data has shown that one of the highest performing weapons in the game right now, for a weapon of its tier, we want it to perform well, but maybe not this well. So they've reduced the headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 2, and reduced the base damage from 9 to 8. In PvP, Jupiter does the most headshot damage in the game, but it's quite difficult to hit headshots with longer ranges. You're also quite vulnerable when you use it at closer ranges, since missing one shot will make you a sitting target to either reload or swap weapons. We're increasing how much you zoom when you use ADS to give you a better view of the targets you're trying to hit, and we're reducing its equipped and unequipped time to make it easier to swap secondary weapons. So as you can see, they are sort of, well, not sort of, they are buffing the legendary weapons and they're nerfing the gray weapons to get them more in line to how they were intended to use. So I know most of us, the Anvil, which I don't see any notes on here, the Anvil and the Stitcher were excellent weapons throughout the entire game. Now they're trying to get us to move more towards the higher end weapons. So, all right, on to item crafting. The energy clip is now default in the workbench, which is interesting. I think I didn't use the energy weapons much, or if at all, really. But you do have to. You can now just craft it straight out of the workbench as soon as you start. Item values. So they've bumped the item values up and the cost in the trader up on pretty much all the big anti-arc explosives. Also the Vita spray. They've also added, and I'm assuming they've added new arc parts as crafting costs. So I'm assuming that these new parts are from the new arc, because there are two new arc coming to the game in this update. They've added Rocketeer drivers crafting costs to the Wolf Pack. I don't know. It's interesting. They don't mention, as far as I know, they don't mention if the drop rate for these things. I mean, I find wolf packs fairly frequently, so I don't think I've ever crafted a wolf pack. I don't know that I found. I did find I think I did find the blueprint, but haven't had a reason to craft one really. Arc parts sell value has been reduced to better reflect their crafting and progression uses. So you get less value out of selling them, so you might as well keep them. They've added tick pod to the crafting cost of the Vita spray, which is interesting. They've also, and we'll get into it here, they've apparently made the tick pod a more effective sort of ready to use weapon. So we'll discuss that here in a minute. Fixed an issue where the blindsided achievement sometimes did not trigger as intended on the first attempt. They did some animation fixes. I didn't really notice most of these being an issue, but it does polish the game up nice. Fixed an issue where surveys and fireballs can open prematurely before stabilizing. Reduced erratic movement of arc parts when they are stuck to a looted item. That did make looting them, especially some of the bigger arc, kind of a pain. Hornets now keep their upper armor after they've been destroyed. After being destroyed, making a lootable piece easier to distinguish from wasp. This is nice because if I know when I carry a medium ammo weapon, it's kind of frustrating that you can't tell the difference between the wasp and the hornets. Because the hornets can carry medium ammo, so it's handy that you can use that to reload or reacquire medium ammo. But you look, especially if you shoot down a bunch of arc during the Buried City bird event, you search 3 of them before you find medium ammo. Fix an issue: the Rocketeer sometimes would not shoot despite having a clear view of its target. Okay, so that's a buff to the Rocketeer. I know me and Pixel and Badger killed a Rocketeer a couple days ago at distance with, I think we were all using Renegades, and it just sat there in the air looking at us as we shot at it. So apparently won't do that now. Reduced cases where Sentinel's shots could pass through geometry when its weapon clips into the wall at very close range. Interesting, okay. And then there's some audio changes. Of course, the audio in this game is amazing, but there's still some things to be done there. You can read through those. I didn't really see anything. Updated the acoustic guitar music tracks. Okay, so we have new music tracks for the guitar. Okay. And here are the new cosmetics. I know a lot of people were looking forward to these. We have the Valar set and the Surgeon set. The Devotee set is coming soon. Don't know what the Devotee set looks like. Added a new, maybe that was the one up above. Who knows? Added a new facial hair customization option. Fixed incorrect visor glass material on Marco's outfit green color variant. Okay. Fixed various instances of clipping on certain outfits. All right. Added a piano to the interactable object in the world. Okay, so, and I see this especially in Berry City. There are a fair number of pianos, so I guess now if you see a piano in the rooms, you can play them. That's kind of cool. When I first saw piano, I was like, we're gonna carry around a piano? How's it gonna work? But now you can play them in a building. That's kind of fun. You can get a little jam session together in one of the buildings. Fixed an issue where interactions could be triggered from too far away, allowing players to open doors, start hatches, or loot items without being nearby. Okay. Hold and continuous interactions now cancel when equipping another item or weapon. Fixed an issue where players could become unable to move after being revived with a defib. No, that would be unfortunate. Prevented players from standing on or being carried by thrown weapons or other non-walkable items. Okay, I've seen video of that. Added missing gamepad aim assist for sentinels, turrets, shredders, and surveyors. Okay, so I saw that they were buffing the aim assist for controllers, but it's against arc, I guess. Interesting. Disabled queuing for practice range while in a party to prevent matchmaking errors. Okay. Fixed an issue where a downed raider's body could block hatch extraction. Oh, that would suck. I haven't run across that. Prevented enabling all freestyle filters. We talked about that earlier. Giving people with the NVIDIA the ability to manipulate the freestyle filters, make it easier for them to see people in the dark. You can now make purchases with seeds and free loadout augments, even if your stash is overflowing. Okay, that's handy. General performance improvements, fixed some popping issues, fixed a crash when launching the game with DirectX 11, fixed a crash that could happen when traversing zip lines. Never experienced that. On the maps, we fixed broken interactions near the top of certain ladders. Okay, fixed missing collision on several environment props to reduce clipping. Fixed general lighting fixes across different maps. Okay. Chance of finding rare loot in Chimney has been lowered slightly during the Bird City map condition. Okay. I wonder what slightly means. Fixed multiple collision issues in Stella Montes to prevent players from reaching out of bounds areas using the unstuck function and to address shots coming from the lobby ceiling. Okay. We all hate those rats who find the spots on the map where they can stay hidden and still shoot people. Adjusted night lighting in Stella Montes, improved nighttime visibility in the Seed Vault, fixed an issue that lowered spillway bridges, still displayed an interaction prompt. Okay, fixed an issue that allowed players to get on top of metro trains. I've never seen that, but okay. Improved thunderstorm lightning for better visual clarity. Fixed an issue where players go out of bounds in Blue Gate tunnels. Never heard of that. Let's see. Sliding can clip through stairs or escalators. You can now re-roll your feats. Remove the PvP feats. Added expedition catch-up system to earn missed skill points. Oh, good. So if you didn't get the previous runs, I know originally you couldn't get the additional skill points, but now apparently you can. With an updated UI to track your progress. Fixed an issue where players occasionally did not receive a skill point. Oh, this was very annoying. If you're familiar with the game, you'd get rewarded a skill point at the end of the game, and you'd be like, great, and then you'd go to the Raider screen and Raider menu, and there'd be no skill point. It usually showed up on your next go round, but it was annoying. It'd be nice to have that skill point and use it for the following raid. Candleberries and Blue Gate now count towards Harvest Plants trials. Okay, good. Let's see, added clear ping labels, fixed an issue where the next objective pop-up in multi-step quests could be missing. Oh, that's good, because that was annoying. I had that happen a couple times. Fixed an issue where a quest item could appear as world loot without the related quest being active. Interesting, okay. When playing in a party, map selection now shows all locations unlocked by a member with the most rounds played. Oh, good. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Fixed an issue where previous teammates could appear in the socials tab and proximity limit after starting a new session. Added clear error messages when a friend's request failed due to too many outgoing requests. I can't say that I know what that means. Fixed friends appearing offline when they have more than one platform linked. Interesting, okay. Added the ability to hide friend requests. Okay. And then there's a ton of UI things. You can read through those, but some of them are pretty useful. Let's see. Improved red zipline preview. There was a couple here. Anyway, you can read through those if you're interested. Utility, pop triggers, and spotter relays can now be used in quick slots. The spotter relay can now be deployed as a trap that lures nearby arc, sort of like you do with the snitch relay. And then pop trigger can now be deployed to roll forward briefly before exploding. So I guess you use it like a little grenade. That's interesting. So one of the things I'm going to do is once I execute my expedition, so I'm starting over, I am going to play the game in a zero to hero format, and I will stream this. But every raid I go in, I'm going in with only an augment. No guns, no shields, no grenades, no heals, no nothing. I started doing that sort of as an experiment, and it's quite fun, actually. Adds a very different element to the game. So, added a new fieldcraft item, the shaker instrument, so you can fieldcraft your shaker instrument and play a little tune for everybody. Adjusted Vita Spray so healing applies continuously while in use to prevent exploit cases. Fix an unintended behavior with the snap hook causing to pull players after it had been canceled. Okay. I guess people are using that as sort of as an exploit. If you've ever played Apex Legends, the grappling ability of Pathfinder, you use that quite often, as it's intended in that game at least. Ziplines can no longer be placed on carryable objects. We covered that a little bit earlier. Fixed zipline placement on arc remnants that could consume the item or leave it partially placed. Hadn't heard of that. Mines, traps, and remote flares can no longer be placed on zip lines or on other small deployables. I know people are putting it on small deployables and using mines and stuff to attack like the matriarch. The T3 tactical healing augment now correctly states that healing is applied instantly. Okay. There's some special effects. Fixed an issue where Trailblazer's gas effect could persist indefinitely if interrupted by Matriarch's shield. Okay, interesting. There's some known issues. There's a problem with the Purchase Raider Tokens page. May appear in front of the inbox. Player animations may appear broken when interrupting in search of a Baron Husk. Okay, so these are known issues. They weren't fixed, but they do know about them. So I'm sure we'll see a hotfix or something come up. Ziplines could be placed. Ziplines placed on destroyed arc parts do not appear correctly. Okay. Comparative study achievements sometimes does not progress. Okay, some unintended visual effects. Flying arc may sometimes appear stuck and idle. Sometimes the embark ID discriminator fails to show. Pressing left mouse button outside of item select area closes the item select window. Okay. And then apparently there was some changes to the anti-cheat. Our dedicated anti-cheat team works tirelessly. All right, so let's go. This is actually interesting to me. I haven't run into too much cheating because I don't do too much PvP. But let's see. When we shared our last update about tackling unfair play, we didn't fully convey the complexity and scale of what goes into cheat detection. Our defenses operate on multiple levels. Some checks are simple. Some checks are simple and definitive, while others are behavioral and data-driven and evolve over time. We also leverage broad gameplay telemetry and machine learning techniques to spot patterns that aren't obvious at first glance. These methods take longer to develop, must adapt as game systems change, and don't always offer instant certainty the way blunt software detections can. We've recently taken action against different exploits, and we are further tightening our rules and stepping up enforcement. Serious infractions now carry stricter consequences. Strong detections will receive permanent bans. right off the bat. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. While others will receive a temporary suspension and a single change to correct the behavior. Recent updates to family sharing have strengthened our ability to curb misconduct and streamline the removal of bad actors from the game. We are preparing to launch a systemic manual review of ban appeals. The game is young, the volume of telemetry is enormous, but this process ensures every case is handled with care as we continue to learn quickly and invest heavily in the precision of our enforcement tools. Well, as any of you who've played multiplayer games for a while know, cheating absolutely can destroy a game. That's why I don't play Apex Legends anymore, because the cheating in there is just absolutely egregious. It's a shame. I really enjoyed that game, but when you get to every third game, and sometimes every game you play in a particular day has a cheater in it that kills you and ruins your chances of winning, you get tired of that quick. So, all right. So now I'm going to go look. I'm going to open the game up, and we're going to go look at a couple of what's going on. All right, so we're now in game. Let's go over to the store. Here's the new Valar set for 1,600 Raider tokens. And let's see, pull this up. So we have colors. I actually like this color. It seems the most realistic to me. Are we expecting? I guess this is for Cold Snap. You got crampons on the on your boots. That would be nasty if you could kick somebody. Let's see. So we can do. There's the bag. We can take the bag off. Oh, let's look at the colors. There's the green and yellow. That's actually pretty good looking too. And then for those of you who want to stand out, you got the red and black. I like the green. These are both reasonably camouflage-ish. Oh, look, you got an ice pick too. Huh. So this is definitely a cold weather type outfit. I wish the cold weather outfits gave you more protection in Cold Snap. That would be kind of cool, because I know like there's an outfit with like jeans and a t-shirt. You don't want to be in Cold Snap in that, but you don't get any colder any faster. At least not that I can tell. All right, we have the helmet on. Goggles. Okay, we can do hood down, and there's the helmet, which is, I guess, a leather helmet with a metal faceplate and goggles. Goggles off. Let's find the goggles look like they're on. Okay, oh, they're goggles off. You can have the visor up, which is an interesting look. Do it with a hood on. All right. Hood on with just your face. There's the whole gear. Pauldrons. Oh, okay, that's these things here. On and off. Gives it a more armored look. I guess there's just the one. Yeah, really just one. Okay. Rope on and off. Okay, you can get rid of the gear here for a cleaner look. All right. There's the backpack that goes with it. Backpack's pretty cool looking. I like that. Let's see, Sandwalker. Okay, this is new. Got the hair. Got blonde. This is like a Ken doll look. I'll probably skip it. The hair in this game is never. It just doesn't look right. It looks like a wig. There's gray for the older folks like myself, and then if you want to go for the ginger thing, there you go. Then we've got our beards. So we get the stubble beard, which is a little shorter. It's about how I wear it though. We'll go gray. Yep. Got black, we got blonde, and we've got your ginger. There we go. Cool. I like to see it. No more baby-faced Raider. Let's see. All these are older things. I don't see anything new there. Abyss. Posta. Nothing else new? Hivekeeper, Junkyard Astronaut. Why have I not seen that before? Huh. That is, there's a lot going on there. Holy moly, you got a lot of stuff hanging off of you. Oh, you can take the jacket off and stuff. Okay. I haven't seen that. That's not new. Apparently. Voltage set, Luna set, Forest Ranger, Mirage. Yeah, it looks like everything. Leviathan, Umbra. Yeah, I don't see anything else that's new here. All right. And then we have the new Raider deck, Surgeon deck. So let's get the Surgeon outfit here. You can add the medical bag, bone saw. That's actually kind of creepy, cool looking. Secret grenades, I like those. Apparently, so now you can use your mouse wheel to cycle through these instead of having to use your triggers or whatever you were using before. I think the keys. Got the new hair. Oh, this. Okay. Oh, okay, so there I've unlocked it. All right. Got a new backpack, which is basically a duffel bag. Hold on a second. Okay, so that's the base surgeon outfit. Got a harness you can have on or off. You also have an apron here. So you can have the harness without the apron. You can have the harness with the apron. The boots are cool. I wish you could choose just individual items because some of the boots on these outfits are cool. That would be cool if you could do, well, unlike that glove is kind of cool. You could make, different outfits by putting the pieces together, but that is not a choice right now. We have a calibration device. Oh, okay, so that's what that thing is. We got some different colors for your scrubs. Leather apron on that one with red. Tactical Mark II. Tactical augment focused on the ability over defense and looting, so that's the revival. Okay. And then at the end we have beards. You can unlock the full beard. Okay. Cool. For those of you who want a beard. You see you get 3 free re-rolls for your feats, so you can choose your feat and now you can re-roll them. That's cool. Return safely from Blue Gate. That's pretty easy. Arc Courier Search. Jump. All right. Raider, so you have your new project, the weather monitoring system. Collect the required parts to build a private weather station and help monitor the turbulence. New cosmetic to add it to your collection. And then, of course, 250 Raider tokens to go towards the store. Well, this is pretty easy. Metal parts. I've got lots of this stuff right now. Might be able to get through the first go round. There we go. Snitch scanner, wires, sensors, a comet igniter. So comet must be the new arc. I think that's is that the flying one? I think somebody called it a Firefly, but maybe the comet is the new arc. We'll go in game and see if we can spot them here in a second. All right, well there's sort of my first gameplay on the new hurricane mode. It's actually my second gameplay. Hopefully that one turns out better. And the first time I've seen the Firefly though, so kind of nasty, but fairly easy to take down. So I think the speculation was going to be harder to take down because of the positioning of the motors, but that first motor goes down, especially in the wind, and it comes down pretty quick. So that's good. And I've had the igniter or the comet igniter or the comet, I guess is what the Rolly guy is, and he wasn't particularly hard to kill last time. I think 2 or 3 shots with an anvil was all it took. So again, not much different than what we've been dealing with, just obviously different modes of attack. The explosion was quite large, so something new to look forward to. And I like the hurricane mode. It's definitely different. So you have to figure out how best to play in it. All right, thanks a lot. Take it easy, and see you next time. Bye. All right, let's see what the hurricane mode looks like. We'll we got hurricane modes in 2 places. Let's see what it looks like in Buried City. Get a little ammo. I don't want to take anything important yet. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let's see what the hurricane of. Whoa, what's going on there? All right. Now let's see what the hurricane effect looks like here. And we're ready up. See, I got the new surgeon outfit on, and I got a little gray stubble there. It's close. It's close. All right. Alrighty, we got our weapons ready. Let's go ahead and see what the hurricane is like. See, I got the surgeon outfit on and a little gray stubble. I got a little more than stubble right now, but got close. There is a new face available as well, but you got to pay for it with the credits. Alright, let's see what we have here. Buried City.
This is Apollo. Don't forget to head to the library, Raider. I've been dying to read a new detective novel. I've read the previous one 8 times now, and the butler did it every time.
Let's see, where do we want to go? Oh, we're pretty close to the apartments here, so...
Go to that location.
The map looks a little different when the visibility is low. So you can remove your shield, but man, if somebody sees you and snipes you, you're toast. They'll probably see you more with this, but at least you got... Alright. Hey, Raider.
Hello. Hello there.
Oh!
Hello. Oh.
Host. Nope. Ow. Okay. Jumping is not easy. Now, not gonna be too much loot in here. It looks like everybody's already cleared it out. There we go. Yeah, I'll still take that. Oh. Somebody died out there. Friendly lobby here for the most part, seems like. Yeah, it's all been cleaned out. It doesn't look like too many people are taking their shield off. Let's see if we can go out to a secluded area here and see if we can't call in some arc. See if we can get closer to the building here, see if that helps. Not really. Wind and debris is pretty wild. I'm squinting my eyes like I'm in the I'm in the storm myself. That's funny. But yeah, you just don't... There isn't a whole lot of arc on these modes. Which is odd. I would have thought there would have been more, but... There's the Rocketeer. I saw some drop over there. Will this count as shelter? Nope. Interesting. It really does damage your... Oh, there we go. Okay. Goes down pretty quick. All right. We'll see what we get from him. There's the igniter. All right. I definitely want that. Let's see. I see these things coming in real handy. I know they're trying to make the arc parts more of a resource than they have been previously. Wow. Is that another one? That's another one. All right. If I can remember how to ping, that would be handy. Didn't I just... Is it just me, or is it not charging the shield up? Oh, okay, you gotta be... Okay, that's a problem I was not anticipating. You cannot charge your shields in the storm. Okay. Well, I just wasted a bunch of resources there. Whoa! Okay. Well, that was no fun. Can I search it, please? There we go. Okay, that's problematic. Take that. Alright, so you can't be in the storm and charging your shield. That does not work. Good to know. Oh, he got me. Well, they're relatively easy to take down. That front engine comes down pretty quick. Alright, I need that. Just do that. Alright, there we go. Alright, well, so there's some patch notes for Shrouded Sky and store review and a little bit of gameplay. Saw both the new arc and a little bit of what the storm looks like. So hope you found that helpful, and if you did, please drop me a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'm usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays with World of Warships Legends, and we'll be playing Arc Raiders during the weekend. I'll try to work on a schedule here and post that as soon as I can. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Bye.